Hi, this is Jason, Chief Technical Analyst with ToroAlerts, with one of the most important charts in the market right now that I'm watching for overall market health. So this chart is LQD divided by IEF, which is investment grade bonds divided by the 7 to 10 year bonds. And this chart has been a very reliable indicator for overall market health. And on this chart here, we're looking at weekly candlesticks, and then we've got a white line, which represents our 13-week EMA, and our purple line, which is our 13-week SMA. So that represents 1 quarter's worth of price action, essentially. And what we're looking at here is each time this white line crosses down below the purple line, we've had a pretty bearish outcome in the markets. And I went back and analyzed this all the way from the Great Financial Crisis to currently. And each time we've seen that cross of the EMA below the SMA, it's represented some level of decline in the markets. It's not necessarily representing a crash in the markets, but obviously when we've had crashes, that's certainly we've certainly seen that cross, and at a pretty early stage of the crash. So it's a great warning signal to kind of get out of the markets and get defensive. We've also seen some really strong bullish signals from this chart. And those are indicated in this green arrow here. And ultimately, when we see the white line cross above the purple line, that's our EMA crossing the SMA, and that's ultimately been a bullish signal. And what I also noticed when I was analyzing this chart is that each time we saw that cross with the EMA crossing back up above the purple, which happened for us not too long ago, that was looks like November, December of last year, we did see that cross to the upside, which was a bullish sign, and certainly we got a really strong January, and that ultimately was reflected in this recent price action. And each time we've seen that cross to the upside, we've ultimately seen a bit of a price action dip back below those moving averages, and then we've ultimately seen a big rocket back up above the moving averages, and then follow through with price action in the markets, and ultimately that was a bullish signal. And so we kind of have both potential threats, both a bearish and bullish signal. If I zoom in here and look at where we're at right now, we can see there's definitely a risk of this EMA crossing back below this purple line, the SMA line. So if that happens, I think we've got to be very cautious and protective of our assets in the market. Don't want to be super long if that occurs. However, we can also see in recent past, as well as going back over the last decade or so, that we've typically seen this price action get a little bit close to that EMA SMA crossing. Then it's basically price action moves right back up above it, and that's ultimately the continuation of a bullish move in the markets. And so however this chart ultimately resolves in the coming weeks, I think is going to give us a really strong indication as to where the markets are heading from here. So if we do see that EMA not cross the SMA and ultimately start to reverse back up to the upside, then I think that's going to be a pretty strong bullish signal for the markets, and we'll likely want to be long risk assets. However, if we do see that EMA cross below that purple line, our 13-week SMA, then we got to get really defensive. So either outcome is certainly possible at this point, and that's why I'm watching this close, really chart, and consider it one of the most important charts in the market right now, because ultimately how this resolves, in my opinion, is ultimately going to tell us where the markets are heading from here. So keep a close eye on that LQD divided by IEF, and also keep a close eye on your ToroAlerts app, and we'll help you navigate these volatile markets. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to download the ToroAlerts app on the App Store. We got one for stocks and one for crypto, and you can always check us out at ToroAlerts.com.